Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. And today we have got an Underworld video, and this is 10 weather moments caught on security camera. We gonna get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and comment, think down below. Let's go.
Wall in New Jersey that crumbled during a freak storm, and a young Chinese mother who saved her daughter from flying debris, to a wild flood in Thailand that turned this ordinary street into a raging river, and a surprise tornado in China that slammed right into this man's workshop. Here are 10 weather moments caught on security camera.
That doesn't say, imagine you're just going by your business, doing at your workshop, and a fucking tornado comes from out of nowhere. Because it was, I think, just out of fucking nowhere and runs into you. That's scary as fuck.
On October 9th of 2024, Hurricane Milton picked up where Hurricane Helene left off. The Category 3 storm slammed into western Florida, bringing with it devastating floods and unrelenting rain. Across the state, in St. Lucie County, Milton brought far more than floods and rain. It spawned an outbreak of powerful and deadly tornadoes. According to the St. Lucie County Sheriff, most of the damage centered around Spanish Lakes Country Club Village and the coastal city of Fort Pierce. Highway cameras on I-95 captured one of those storms as it crossed the road and nearly destroyed an 18-wheeler. Watch as the massive tornado approaches from the right side of your screen. Two semi-trucks are heading right for it, and it's unclear if our drivers can see the storm over the trees. Those wide sides act like giant steel sails. All it takes is a powerful gust to tip them over. Thankfully, the drivers stop in time to watch the tornado pass over.
That would be fucking terrifying. That would be terrifying. To be driving and you see a fucking tornado in front of you, so you like stop and have to watch a fucking tornado that could have taken you out, have to watch it go past you. That would be scary as fuck, man.
For I-95. You can also see debris falling from the sky and landing all around them. From there, our camera follows the storm as it moves behind some trees and fades into the distance. Elsewhere in St. Lucie County, another traffic camera found itself in the eye of the storm. If you didn't know any better, you might think this footage was from Tampa or somewhere closer to where Hurricane Milton landed. Watch as the tornado approaches the camera, throwing God knows what in every direction. When it clears, it looks like the building in the background has vanished. The damage was hard to comprehend when it was over. Helicopter footage from the sheriff's office showed what looked like a war zone. Homes were destroyed, trees were downed, and people's boats were thrown onto dry land.
That is insane, man, to be... I couldn't imagine being in the aftermath of a fucking tornado storm like that. That gotta be fucking terrifying. And, like, so destroying. Because if you're like, then you're lucky you survived, but your house destroyed, your property's gone, you're starting from fucking scratch. And I don't know this as an actual thing. I don't know if there's a way if there's any coverage, like, financially you get, anything financially you get to help you fucking recover. Like, God. I don't think so, so it's like fucking insane shit.
In the end, at least 6 people lost their lives due to Milton-related tornadoes in St. Lucie County. According to the National Weather Service, the hurricane triggered over 120 tornado warnings after making landfall. Nanchang, China is a prefecture-level city and the capital of Jiangxi province. It's home to about 6.2 million people, including one mother who will never look at sliding doors the same way again. It was March 31st of 2024. A young woman was winding down for the night when she heard powerful winds blowing outside her apartment window. She wisely closed the doors as her daughters played and watched TV. Without thinking there'd be a problem, she walked away to get ready for bed. Then, in an instant, her life almost changed forever.
a heart attack. I'd legitimately have a heart attack. I wouldn't know what the fuck. The scream I would lay out if that happened, the screech that would come out would disturb people. Because I'd scream so loudly if out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, my fucking doors and all that shattered and fucking came out off the hinges from wind. That would scare the fuck out of me. Holy shit.
Listen closely, and you can hear the wind suck the glass toward the exterior before blowing the doors clean off their hinges. According to local weather reports, the wind was caused by a powerful storm overhead. Locals in Nanchang reported relentless thunder, heavy rain, and massive lightning bolts across the city. Sadly, the storm injured 10 people and claimed 4 lives. Thanks to her mom's quick thinking, this little girl wasn't one of them. Many people in western and central Tennessee went to bed on August 20th of 2021 with clean yards and intact basements. They woke up on the 21st to utter devastation. That's because a wild storm passed over a 5-county area, dropping about 3 months' worth of rain in under 12 hours. The city of Waverly...
That sounds insane. Could you imagine you go to bed and everything's fine? You wake up to your house flooded completely? Like, that sounds fucking awful. That sounds scary as shit.
Tennessee may have gotten it the worst. While they didn't get as much rain as neighboring towns, their position downstream of Trace Creek meant about 20 inches of runoff was heading right for them. One family's security cameras captured the entire event. In only 13 minutes, the area went from friendly neighborhood to raging river. The water began creeping in around 10 a.m., knocking over their trash can and quickly flooding the yard. When a white van drives by, you can tell how deep the water already is. And we're only 2.5 minutes into the flood, and already their street is completely underwater. The package on their front porch isn't going to last much longer. After 6 minutes, the floodwater engulfs their porch and almost touches the bottoms of the cars across the street. It won't be long until the tires are covered, and the water nearly reaches the windows. At 10 minutes, the water is high enough to pick up and move heavy objects. Somebody's truck and a black sedan float in from the right side of the screen. The former gets stuck on the neighbor's porch and nearly rips their house down. Another white SUV floats by and almost finishes the job. Thankfully, it gets stuck without causing further damage. Things only got worse before they got better. In Humphreys County, over 500 homes were flooded and 270 were destroyed. Floodwaters reached about 4 feet in height, causing millions of dollars worth of damage throughout the county.
That is that's insane. That whole thing terrifies me. That's why I'm lucky to live where I live, because it's not flooding or fucking shit like that. I hope to never have experienced that, but since I also want to leave where I live and move somewhere else at some point, the possibility of encountering this is there.
Cranford, New Jersey is a small town in Union County, roughly 18 miles southwest of Manhattan. It's home to about 24,000 people, including one family desperately needing a new basement. On August 29th of 2021, Hurricane Ida smashed into Louisiana as a Category 4 hurricane. With it came immense devastation that spread across the southern U.S. and up the East Coast. By early September, Ida's remnants had brought powerful tornadoes and flash floods to parts of New York and New Jersey. In Cranford, one family thought they'd seen the worst when their basement flooded with ankle-deep water. Little did they know the worst was yet to come. According to a Good Morning America report, Janice, her husband Marlon, and their 2 teenage kids lost everything in the flood. When the wall collapsed, Janice and her 17-year-old son were trapped on opposite ends in 6 feet of water. At one point, they only had 4 inches of space left to breathe. Thankfully, her husband and other son heard their cries and rushed to help. They broke 2 outdoor windows and pulled Janice and the teen to safety. A similar scene unfolded on August 19th of 2000.
The thought in my head of, yeah, like, that's, you're with your kid and you could die at this point because of this flood. And you do not know if you're going to get out. Like, that's fucking terrifying.
24 at the Smithtown Library on Long Island, New York. According to reports, a rare and powerful storm brought torrential rain to New York and parts of Connecticut.
God.
Suffolk County was among the worst affected areas, with about 11 inches of water falling overnight. It quickly overwhelmed the drainage systems, leading to this catastrophic scene at the Smithtown Library. Sadly, the floodwater damaged more than a few books and computers. It destroyed priceless historical documents, including some papers signed by Thomas Jefferson. Library officials said the floodwaters caused roughly $10 million in damage.
Oh, that sucks. This destroyed documents signed by that's fucked. Oh, that would break my heart more than the books and that. That's something historic that can never be found again. That was destroyed by fucking nature.
Harbin, China is the largest city in Heilongjiang province. It's home to roughly 10 million people, 7 million of whom live within the built-up metro area. The city is known for its freezing cold winters, which is why some people call it Ice City. However, on June 13th of 2024, the locals had a different weather phenomenon to worry about. Tornadoes are rare in China, but they still happen, and when they do, they can cause significant damage. That's because many structures aren't built to handle tornadoes. Watch as this twister wreaks havoc on a small district outside Harbin City.
Did something explode as a result of this thing?
Early investigations found several downed power lines and broken fences. Thankfully, the storm didn't cause widespread devastation, and nobody was severely injured. Even though China and the United States share a similar latitudinal zone, the difference in tornadoes is massive. According to a 2023 study, China sees about 1/10 of the tornadoes the United States does each year. Of them, only 3 are considered significant. Tropical Storm Mulan was the third of its kind during the 2022 cyclone season. It landed in China on August 10th and then moved west toward Vietnam, Thailand, and Myanmar. With it came intense rain, massive landslides, and deadly flash flooding. Locals scrambled for higher ground in Chiang Rai, Thailand's northernmost province, as murky water quickly overwhelmed the streets. CCTV cameras in a small Chiang Rai neighborhood captured the horror as it unfolded on August 13th of 2022. This was the scene across Chiang Rai and 6 other Thai provinces. Tropical storm Mulan had combined with a monsoon across Myanmar, northern Thailand, and northern Laos. Together, they brought about 72 hours of endless rain to the region. Some towns were completely underwater after rising levels breached an earthen dam in eastern Myanmar. In one of those impacted towns, people were reportedly up to their chests in water. Landslides on the roads leading into these towns also hindered rescue operations. On May 25th of 2008, a mighty EF5 wedge tornado touched down in northeastern Iowa. In Parkersburg, a small city of only 2,000 people in Butler County, 205-mile-per-hour winds devastated everything in sight. Close to 300 homes were ripped from their foundations, and 22 businesses were flattened like pancakes. Among those businesses was First State Bank, a small local branch on Florence Street.
Oh, it targeted the bank. It wanted the money for itself.
Like all banks, First State was fitted with several security cameras on the inside. They were rolling when the tornado came through, showing us what it looks like to be caught in the eye of the storm. The windows are the first to go. Papers began flying around, and then smash! The storm blows out a wall and collapses the roof. We're surprised the one camera lasted that long. A different angle from behind the main desk shows the storm approaching the window. Dirt-colored wind spins up outside as it rips up the shrubbery.
By the looks of it, at least thankfully, I think this is closed. So no one's there when this happens?
Like before, our camera doesn't last much longer. This was the scene all over Parkersburg. On Google Maps, you can see where homes used to stand when the Google car drove through 4 months after the storm. In the end, the Parkersburg tornado traced a 43-mile path of destruction across Butler County. It claimed 9 lives and caused over $100 million in damages. It was also the first EF5 to hit Iowa since 1976. Hopefully, it was the last. Bamayao is a small yet famous county in southern China. Despite being a relatively poor area, it has become a popular destination for health tourism in recent years. That's because Bamayao is known for having some of the oldest people on Earth. Of the 240,000 people who live there, roughly 80 are 100 plus years old. They've seen their fair share of natural disasters, but this landslide from June of 2000...
There was a good amount of them that is just 100 years old, just old people just living their final days just in this city. That's amazing.
22 still caught them off guard. Cameras around the county were rolling as the mountain collapsed, pushing aside these excavators like they were made of plastic. From what we can gather, a few days of endless rain weakened the soil and triggered the landslide. Based on the footage, several cars were totaled and a few businesses were destroyed. Thankfully, everyone escaped in time and nobody was hurt during the event. Drone footage helps put the disaster in perspective. Remember, all that dirt was part of the mountain only a few hours ago. We're guessing they needed more dump trucks to haul everything away. Some folks are just plain lucky. Just ask this person from Guangdong Province, China, whose life was saved by a heavy rolling trash can. It was June 16th of 2024. Days of heavy rain had swelled a river in Meizhou City, but that didn't bother this local who still had chores to do. The trash bins weren't going to bring themselves back in. Our villager starts crossing the bridge with their umbrella. Little do they know, the foundation is eroding beneath their feet thanks to the powerful rapids. They make it across and walk up to the blue trash bin across the road. But when they try pulling it, the bin seems extra heavy. Either it's full of water or the trucks never came. The weight likely saved their life. They struggle to haul it back and are only feet from the bridge when it collapses. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's another nearby route to their apartment building. In hindsight, they should have just waited to get the trash.
I do find it funny that this guy saw raging floods, a possible flood. He was like, yeah, but I got jobs to do. I got chores to do. I gotta get my shit done. I don't care. The storm is not gonna stop me from bringing in my damn trash.
Shangrao, China is a prefecture-level city in Jiangxi province. It's home to about 6.5 million people, many of whom live in rural farming areas around the central city. On May 28th of 2022, those farms quickly turned into swamplands when a freak flash flood engulfed the entire area. A powerful storm had just dumped over 6 inches of rain in 24 hours. It oversaturated the ground and quickly spilled into the small towns and neighborhoods. We believe that's a river of murky water running parallel to the road. It swells and eventually spills over as a man walks by with his umbrella. That's when the camera pans right, and we see the water rising rapidly over the next 40 seconds. It floods the street and soon spills into the small patch of crops on the other side. Here's what that looked and sounded like if you were standing in the middle of it. According to local reports, the storm impacted 40 families and flooded dozens of acres of farmland. Otherwise, we don't know much else about this rural Chinese flood. Hopefully, the man and his umbrella made it home safe and dry. If you enjoyed this video...
Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought of these insane weather moments caught on camera in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.